Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We tell you now that the Caribbean Community CARICOM countries have told the United States that its decades-old trade and economic embargo against Cuba has, I quote, run its course, end of quote, and should now be lifted. In a July 26 letter sent to President Joe Biden, CARICOM Chairman and Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gadsden Brown said that strong and mutually beneficial relations have been developed between Cuba and the Caribbean countries over a 49-year period, and CARICOM regards, I quote, Cuba and its people as a valuable and respected member of our family of Caribbean nations, end of quote. Brown said that CARICOM has been and remains troubled by the circumstances in Cuba, where there is a shortage of food, medicines, and other basic needs that result significantly from the long-standing U.S. trade embargo and the more recent punitive measures imposed by the previous U.S. administrations. Brown said that the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated this deteriorating humanitarian situation. The U.S. trade and economic embargo against Cuba has been in place for 61 years. Washington has maintained the trade and economic embargo against Cuba, even though in the past few years, the United Nations General Assembly has voted to have it lifted, with only the United States and a handful of its allies voting against the measure. In St. Lucia, the St. Lucia Labour Party romped to victory in Tuesday's general elections, winning 13 seats and dealing a devastating blow to the re-election hopes of Alan Chastanet and his United Workers' Party. Chastanet, who retained his Jamaica South seat, and Bradley Felix, who held on to his Choiseul seat, were the only victors among the UWP candidates. Prime Minister-elect Philip J. Pierre took to Facebook to post, I quote, "Thank you, St. Lucia," end of quote, after the Labour Party victory. And now for some more news. Britain will start delivering 9 million doses of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine this week to countries including Indonesia, Jamaica, and Kenya to help tackle the pandemic, the government said on Wednesday. Some 5 million doses were being offered to COVAX, the scheme to ensure equitable global access to COVID-19 vaccines, while another 4 million doses will be shared directly with countries in need. I quote, "The first batch, 9 million doses, will be going out on Friday," end of quote, Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said, adding that they would go to countries including Laos, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Kenya, and Jamaica. Indonesia will receive 600,000 doses, 300,000 will be sent to Jamaica, and 817,000 will go to Kenya, among other countries, the government said. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you for joining.